Welcome to Heidi Relationships. Today, we'll read some more stories from Reddit. But before we start, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. That would help the channel a lot. Thank you very much in advance.
The first one is titled, I haven't slept with my boyfriend for over a year due to medical problems. My high libido BF, 28 meters, and I low libido, 25F, have been together for 4 years and are starting to discuss marriage. We have both always been HL, high libido, people, 3+ times a week. But about a year ago I had a tonsillectomy which led to a cascade of other health problems, starting with a diagnosis of thyroid cancer, thyroid surgery, hypothyroidism from the thyroid surgery, and am now finally in a place where I can say I am physically healthy. My desire tanked after my first surgery. I still have health problems today, but overall, my weight and thyroid hormones are good, my energy levels are good. My depression and anxiety are controlled. But the desire never came back. I noticed when we started to have intercourse again, I would have to force myself and sometimes had abdominal pain in certain positions, so we wouldn't be able to be as rough and carefree as before because I'm constantly worried about it hurting. I don't know if my mental state is causing the pain or if the pain is causing my mental state. I can't get physically aroused. I don't even have any desire to masturbate. When we do have intercourse, I don't enjoy it and I just find myself waiting for it to be over. I hate it. I miss having pain-free and fun intercourse, and I miss enjoying intercourse and the intimacy we had. We still have a great relationship otherwise and he's so understanding, but I don't want to go into a marriage already not being able to satisfy him. What I've tried. Reduce stress, improve diet, sleep more, exercise more, initiate sex even though I didn't feel like it. Does anyone have any recommendations? I'm so frustrated because I talked to my OBGYN who said it was likely psychological and to talk to my psychologist. Talked to my psychologist who said it was likely physical and to talk to my doctor. Talked to my PCP who said I should talk to my OBGYN. No one has any answers, and no one seems to care enough to look into it or help me. I'm so frustrated. I want to change but don't know where to start. A user said, if your libido is still low, you are likely still under-medicated for your hypothyroidism. It's a classic symptom. Check out Stop the Thyroid Madness. It's an excellent resource, as docs are often quite uninformed on how to properly dose thyroid meds. Good luck. The next one is titled, FourYear Relationship Ended by One Drunk Night at a Club. My 25F, BF, 28 meters. And I have been together for 4 years and have been talking about marriage. We even got a ring but aren't officially engaged yet. Our relationship has gone through some bumps recently but nothing major, and I thought we were fixing them together. Last night when I was at work, I work overnight. My boyfriend told me he was going to go out with his guy friend. Around midnight I get a text from an acquaintance that I hung out with a couple times a few years ago. We haven't talked in years. He told me, your BF is at club, dancing with and acting hella pervy with my friend. He's making her super uncomfortable. After gathering more details and calling guy, and said girl and their friends. Girl didn't know at the time my BF was taken. I find out he made out with her. And he told his friends not to tell them he was there. He told me he went to Taco Bell with his friend. He completely lied to me. After I told him I knew that he went out and that I had witnesses, he fessed up. He literally got on his knees and begged for forgiveness. He said I had every right to leave him, but he doesn't want me to because of everything we've done together. He said he was drunk and really wanted to have fun and he let it get too far. He said he would do anything for my forgiveness. He'd give up drinking, give up partying or clubbing. I know in real life that can't really be permanent though. I know I can't ever forget this, and I already have trust issues. I know what I need to do, but seeing him cry like that made it so hard. It's so hard to do what I know is best for myself. I wish I was strong enough to do what I need to, but my heart is torn in every direction right now. I never thought he could do this to me. I still want to be with him, and I hate myself for that. I guess I just need some words of support and advice from people who have been through similar situations. Thanks in advance. Update. I asked him to look through his phone. Turns out he's been talking to another girl. Nothing physical but definitely flirting. Now that he's proven he has the capacity, he can physically and emotionally cheat on me, I really have no other alibi. I told him it's over. The next one is titled, I Ada for asking my brother not to bring his boyfriend to my wedding? Okay, this is the worst. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm getting married in a week to an awesome woman, and I cannot wait to be her husband. We are so excited. My brother is gay, but my family doesn't know, only me and my parents know. I come from a very old school traditional family, so the old part of the family, grandparents and some aunts, uncles still have last century's mind, and the younger portion, cousins, siblings are open-minded, and are living in the present. So, my brother has been dating his BF for 6 months now. The dude is great. I'm so happy my brother found a great guy. But it's kind of a secret, as he hasn't told my family he is gay. I've been telling him for years that he should come out, because I know it stresses him a lot, and I think it will make him feel better not to hide anymore. Plus I bet a few family members already know anyway. But he disagrees because he knows a part of the family won't accept it and it will be a lot of drama. I see the opposite. I see it as the sooner you know who the idiots are, the sooner we can cut them from our lives. I have no interest in having someone in my life that doesn't accept my brother being gay. Anyway, that's his decision, not mine, so for now he won't say anything. Until a few weeks ago, when he said he wants to bring his BF to my wedding. I was not expecting that, to be honest. So, he went from 0 to 100 pretty fast. If it was any other occasion I would be supportive obviously, but I don't think my wedding day is the day to do that. Imagine all the drama and gossip and bullcrap that would happen. And I don't want to get the attention away from my fiancé, that's her day. And I don't want to have to worry about that on my wedding day, and I think it's a pretty good reason. I asked him why my wedding day. He said it's because he wants to celebrate love with the two people he loves the most, me and his boyfriend. This is killing me. I would fight my whole family for my brother and never speak to them again if I had to, but my wedding day is supposed to be a celebration, not a family fight, and I can't do this to my wife. That might ruin our future. I didn't even tell her. She is already stressed out. Don't want to make it even worse. With a heavy heart, I asked him to please come alone to the wedding, and that I hope he understands me. He started crying and left my house without saying anything. Next day I got a text and he said, "Don't worry, going alone." I tried calling him, but he didn't answer me, and my parents don't seem to know what's happening because they didn't say anything. He eventually called me back a few days later. We spoke. He said he understands my side, but things are still weird between us. This is the worst situation of my life. Am I the butthole for handling it the way I did? Update. Spoke to fiancé. Couldn't keep this from her anymore. She agreed with me. Clarification. I know it won't be my brother that would cause trouble. The trouble would start with remarks and looks from some aunt, uncle. Doesn't matter, we're spending a lot of money on this wedding. Planned it for a long time. My fiancé put her heart and soul into planning this wedding. I don't want to see my bride or mom crying, or some idiot uncle insulting my brother. Literally every other day of my life I will support my brother's decision to come out. Even at the wedding, I would obviously defend him. But the point is, not at the wedding. Also, my brother is not the butthole. Not at all. A user in the comments said, "Emo, this is a nah situation. You're clearly trying to prevent an extreme blowout at your wedding that can, and likely would, ruin it. Your brother is most likely trying to avoid some measure of the backlash he feels he will receive by coming out, by doing so in a situation where it would not be socially acceptable for someone to flip their crap about it. Both of you have understandable reasoning here, but I think the one who is in the wrong is your brother on this one. He is acting to take advantage of your wedding, while you're just trying to enjoy your wedding. I would tell him it's fine to bring his boyfriend, but only if he chooses to come out to the family at least a couple of weeks in advance of your wedding. If he is planning to come out at your wedding, That is not going to be okay. Another user said, "Nah, but can I make a suggestion, if someone else hasn't already? Would he be willing to lay the groundwork before the wedding and tell your family in advance? Then, as you say you don't want anyone in your life who doesn't accept him as he is, tell all your guests that anyone who has a problem or who will be unable to keep their mouth shut will be better served staying away." The next one is titled, WNBTA for refusing to stop cooking bacon in my kitchen due to my teenage daughter's vegan lifestyle? Dad here, old fart, loves his daughter to pieces, but I'm struggling to see eye to eye with my teenager and wife on this one. We've always been a meat-eating family. We live in the rural Midwest and bacon for breakfast is pretty much a given. This year my 14-year-old daughter decided to go vegan, and I jumped onto her support team with enthusiasm. We learned how to substitute ingredients, cook new things, try new things. I adjusted our budget to include more expensive vegan substitutes for her, etc. None of this has been a problem for me until recently. She saw me cook bacon in a pan, and then I rinsed it out to load in the dishwasher. She exploded in anger, teen years. I'm not too fussed about the anger explosion. I know she doesn't mean it, and said that that was her pan for vegan food. I was completely floored and said, "Kiddo, this here is a family pan. Older than you, it's not your pan." She asked me to purchase her a pan that she can solely use for vegan food. I didn't want her to feel weird about food, so I said sure, and ordered her a few colored ones that are only for her. The reason they're colored is, so it helps me remember that I'm not to touch them unless I'm cooking vegan. That wasn't good enough. Now apparently the dishwasher is contaminated with animal product, and the fridge has bacon grease fingers on it, because I eat bacon and then touch the fridge, and she's asked me and her mom to completely stop eating meat at home. I don't mean I literally touch the fridge with greasy bacon hands, because I wash my hands, but it's clearly enough that it upsets my daughter. Frankly, I'm on team hell no. Her mom is much more amenable and strongly wants me to consider taking our daughter up on the request. My wife's reasoning is that both our parents live close so we can eat meat products there, and that she doesn't want our daughter to feel uncomfortable in the kitchen. My daughter says she is fine with cheese and butter in the fridge, but it's specifically meat products that make her feel sick. Now I'm sorry for her, but I feel like she just needs to adapt and live side by side, because I'm not going to stop eating bacon in my own house. A user in the comments said, "As a teen who's trying to go vegetarian, your daughter is acting ridiculous. The dishwashing machine's tainted. What kind of bull is that? And she shouldn't be forcing you guys to go vegan in your own house if you don't want to. You've been very supportive as it is, buying separate pans. WNBTA. Edit. And, if she really wants to change your diet, she should try and give you info on how bad the meat and dairy industry is, and how unhealthy large amounts of meat are for the modern human. Then you guys make your own choices on what you want to eat." Edit 2. I'm gonna take this time to say that. 1. Please, regardless of if you're a meat eater, vegan, vegetarian, whatever, please be civil in discussions over this. If you want to be pissed off over something, this really shouldn't be it. 2. I really didn't want to start any debates, but whatever. Just take everything anyone, and I include myself, say with a grain of salt if they don't provide links to a credible source. Honestly, it's been nice just talking to people getting varying opinions on this subject, but I'm starting to see a bit of hate flow through a few people just showing up. Another user said, "NTA, and I say that as a vegan. Cross-contamination is BS that militant vegans make up to make themselves feel superior to other vegans. And she has to understand that there's going to be meat around. I get that it upsets her, really, but unless she only lives with vegans for the rest of her life, this is something she is going to have to get used to. A compromise might be to keep the meat in a drawer in the fridge rather than getting rid of it altogether. She's young, and a new vegan, so the good news is that she will probably grow out of, ease up on it. When you first go vegan, you're so excited and feel so enlightened, like no one ever figured this out before you. Then you get a little jaded and relax a bit. Try to tough it out and keep talking to her. But no, you do not need to stop storing meat in your house just for her. Edit. I am very clearly not talking about cross-contamination when it comes to food allergies. The next one is titled, I ate a for, making fun of a woman for being in her 40s and single? This whole saga started because my husband took my last name. A couple weeks ago he got his workplace to change it, and his co-workers found out. About half of them think this is the funniest thing ever and about half are deeply offended. Brenda is in the offended half and has made that clear. He and I are in a group chat with his co-workers where we organize carpooling during the pandemic. It is very helpful to us, so we can't leave the chat. Since he changed his name, my husband and I have been dealing with a lot of dumb jokes in the chat, which we have been mostly ignoring. Yesterday Brenda, his co-worker and I got into a bit of a spat. I messaged the group asking if someone could take my husband home since I wouldn't be back from work until late and needed the car. One of his other co-workers agreed, and I thought that was that. Brenda messages the group saying, maybe if you spent less time at work and more time being a wife, your husband wouldn't come into work with dirty shirts. I took this as a bad joke initially. My husband is a rural mail carrier, so his shirts look like shirts worn by someone in 90-degree heat on dusty roads. I do wash them, but there's only so much to be done. Me. I could make cleaning those shirts my full-time job and it wouldn't do much lol. Brenda. You won't be married very long if you keep trying to be the man in the relationship. I'd be embarrassed as a wife if I did so little for my husband. Me. Well, I work more hours and pay the bills, so I think he can OxiClean his own shirts if it's so important. Brenda. Maybe you should learn to take proper care of your husband, or you'll find yourself divorced. Me. I'll let you know when I need relationship advice from someone who is 42 and single. Now apparently Brenda is going around and saying that I mocked her for being single in her 40s. I don't care if someone is single in their 40s, but I think it's absolute bullcrap that she can call me a bad wife, but I can't point out she has no frame of reference. I ate a Reddit? Edit. People keep asking why I need to help arrange rides in the first place. When my husband is out on deliveries he rarely has cell service, so if I find out late that I'm going to be home late I need to be able to reach his coworkers directly. Multiple spouses are in the chat for the same reasons. Edit 2. People are saying that I've hurt my husband's feelings by saying I pay the bills. After reading the exchange he sent me a text saying, sometimes I forget you're a hard little witch who takes no prisoners. I'm so proud lol. He's fine. I asked him just now if my comment about the bills hurt him and he said, oh yeah, it's so hard having a hot wife who makes good money. Really tough, pray for me. A user in the comments said, NTA. At all. She came out of left field and started insulting you for no reason. On top of that, she interjected herself into your marriage. Your retort was logical. What business does she have giving PPL unsolicited marriage advice when she's not in a successful marriage herself? For the future, don't engage. Simply say something like, your remarks are inappropriate. I will not lower myself and respond to such comments. Do not speak to me unless you have something relevant to carpooling to say. Another user said, NTA. I don't agree that you were mocking her for being single in her 40s. She was giving unsolicited advice on a subject for which she is unqualified to speak on even if you were looking for advice. Same as if you had tooth pain and your mechanic tried to tell you what to do about it. Or if you were having problems in the bedroom and a priest tried to advise you. You'd point out your wish to forego their advice for their lack of qualification and it wouldn't necessarily be mocking them. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the relationship stories. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video and write a comment. I really appreciate your support and it helps my channel so much. Thank you.